On February 1, 1327, the teenage Edward III was crowned King of England. However, due to his youth, the country was effectively ruled by his mother, Queen Isabella, and her lover, Roger Mortimer. This regency continued until Edward III asserted his authority in 1330. In 1411, the first Peace of Thorn was signed in the town of Thorn, now Torun, Poland, within the monastic state of the Teutonic Knights. This treaty ended the Polish-Lithuanian-Teutonic War, bringing temporary peace to the region. On February 1, 1662, Chinese General Koxinga seized the island of Taiwan after a 9-month siege. This event marked the end of Dutch colonial rule in Taiwan and the establishment of Chinese control over the island. In 1713, the Kalabalik, or skirmish at Bender, occurred when Ottoman forces attempted to seize King Charles XII of Sweden, who had taken refuge in the town of Bender, now in Moldova. The confrontation resulted from the Ottoman Sultan's order to detain the unwelcome guest. On February 1, 1793, during the French Revolutionary Wars, France declared war on the United Kingdom and the Netherlands. This action expanded the conflict, leading to widespread warfare across Europe. In 1796, the capital of Upper Canada was moved from Newark, now Niagara-on-the-Lake, to York, now Toronto. This relocation was undertaken for strategic reasons, aiming to position the capital further from the American border. On February 1, 1814, Mayon volcano in the Philippines erupted catastrophically, resulting in the deaths of approximately 1,200 people. This eruption is considered the most devastating in the volcano's recorded history. In 1861, during the American Civil War, Texas seceded from the United States. The state joined the Confederacy a week later, aligning with other southern states in the conflict. On February 1, 1864, the Second Schleswig War began as Prussian forces crossed the border into Schleswig. This conflict was fought between Denmark and the combined forces of Prussia and Austria over the territories of Schleswig and Holstein. In 1865, President Abraham Lincoln signed the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution. This amendment abolished slavery throughout the United States, marking a significant milestone in American history. On February 1, 1884, the first volume of the Oxford English Dictionary, A to Ant, was published. This monumental work aimed to comprehensively document the English language and has since become a definitive reference. In 1893, inventor Thomas A. Edison completed construction of the first motion picture studio, known as the Black Maria, in West Orange, New Jersey. This facility was pivotal in the early development of the film industry. On February 1, 1895, Fountains Valley in Pretoria was proclaimed by President Paul Kruger as the oldest nature reserve in Africa. This designation aimed to protect the area's natural resources and biodiversity. In 1896, Giacomo Puccini's opera La Bohème premiered at the Teatro Regio in Turin, conducted by the young Arturo Toscanini. The opera has since become one of the most frequently performed works in the operatic repertoire. On February 1, 1897, Shinhan Bank, the oldest bank in South Korea, opened in Seoul. The institution has played a significant role in the country's financial development. In 1900, following defeats by Boer forces in key battles, Great Britain appointed Lord Roberts as the commander of British forces in South Africa during the Second Boer War. His leadership was instrumental in turning the tide of the conflict. On February 1, 1942, during World War II, Joseph Terboven, the Reichskommissar of German-occupied Norway, appointed Vidkun Quisling as the minister-president of the national government. Quisling's collaboration with Nazi Germany led to his name becoming synonymous with traitorous collaboration. In 1942, Mao Zedong delivered a speech on reform in learning, the party, and literature, initiating the Yan'an rectification movement. This campaign sought to consolidate Mao's ideological leadership within the Chinese Communist Party. On February 1, 1946, the Parliament of Hungary abolished the monarchy after 9 centuries and proclaimed the Hungarian Republic. This marked a significant shift in the nation's governance. In 1950, the first prototype of the MiG-17 fighter aircraft made its maiden flight. Developed by the Soviet Union, the MiG-17 became a mainstay in various air forces during the Cold War. On February 1, 1968, during the Vietnam War, the execution of Viet Cong officer Nguyen Van Lem by South Vietnamese National Police Chief Nguyen Ngoc Loan was captured in a photograph by Eddie Adams. The image became iconic, influencing public perception of the war. In 1968, Canada's three military services, the Royal Canadian Navy, the Canadian Army, and the Royal Canadian Air Force, were unified into the Canadian Forces. This unification aimed to streamline command and improve efficiency. On February 1, 1979, Iranian Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini returned to Tehran after nearly 15 years in exile. His return marked a pivotal moment in the Iranian Revolution, leading to the establishment of the Islamic Republic. In 1996, the Communications Decency Act was passed by the U.S. Congress. This legislation aimed to regulate indecency and obscenity on the Internet, sparking debates over free speech and censorship. On February 1, 1998, Lillian E. Fishburne became the first African-American woman to be promoted to the rank of Rear Admiral in the United States Navy. Appointed by President Bill Clinton, she was officially promoted on this date. Throughout her distinguished career, Fishburne held various significant positions, including serving as the director of the Information Transfer Division for the Space Information Warfare Command and Control Directorate in Washington, D.C. She retired from the Navy in February 2001. On February 1, 2007, the National Weather Service implemented the Enhanced Fujita Scale, EF scale, to assess tornado intensity and associated damage. Developed by meteorologists and wind engineers, the EF scale replaced the original Fujita scale, which had been in use since 1971. The new scale provides more accurate assessments by incorporating a detailed analysis of damage indicators and degrees of damage, leading to improved estimations of tornado wind speeds.